corner, wearing the white trunks, hailing from Sydney, Australia. He weighed in at 168 pounds. His record includes 28 wins, 4 losses, and 2 draws, with 19 wins by knockout. Please welcome Sakio, the Scorpion Bika. And the champion across the ring in the red corner. He's wearing the gray trunks with the white trim. Fighting out of Oakland, California. He weighed in at 168 pounds. His record stands at 22 wins, no losses, with 13 knockouts to his credit. Please welcome the 2004 Olympic gold medalist and the current WBA super middleweight champion of the world, Andre S.O.G. Ward. And now, here to give our fighters their instructions, our referee this evening, Dan Stell.
Sakio Andre, this is a world title fight. Listen, obey my commands all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, come out the building. Good luck to you.
12 rounds, the WBA super middleweight world title. Bika against Ward, and Sakio Bika. I've got to push Ward. He's never been truly pushed. I've got to take risks, let my hands go, because the rewards for me could be epic. Bika, you're just another guy standing in my way, a fill-in. Yeah, you have fought champions before, but nobody like me.
Let's fight.
Early in this match, Bika, oh my, double left hook already by Bika. He wants to throw combinations against Andre Ward and work the body. He said that's the 2 things that no one has really done against Ward, and we'll see if he can do it.
He also said that to do that, he's got to set up his jab, and it's got to be a good, strong, stiff one.
And that jab will come in handy because, you know, Ward is a rhythm type of fighter. He wants to be first, and then he wants to be last. So with the hard jab, you can break that up, Al.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And, you know, Bika is, for a big, strong guy, normally you're not a combination puncher, but that's what Bika is. So
stop.
See how well he can challenge Ward this evening.
Now, for both these fighters, they have had a history of headbutts. For Bika, also hitting when his opponents have been down.
Bika was, in fact, disqualified in his last fight against Jean-Paul Mende by hitting him when he was down, and twice in his career he's been penalized for use of his head, and also hit J. Don Codrington when he was down. But he says he believes that some of that was circumstantial, and they believe that Ward is guilty of some of the headbutting and illegal tactics. So it's going to be a long night for Dan Stell, probably.
Nice left hand by Ward. Gets through, backs Bika up, then he jabs to the body. According to Ward, nothing new for this fight. We're sticking to what works. We're not changing anything. The green fight was okay, but Andre should have knocked him out. According
Hands are free, let's go.
to the corner of Andre Ward, Virgil Hunter, his trainer.
Watch me on the head. Stop. Go back. Watch me on the head. Let's go. Box.
What's nice about this fight, though, already is that unlike the effort Alan Green gave against Ward, and unlike our first fight this evening, which unfortunately was not an Arthur Abraham that was aggressive, Sakio Bika, you can tell from round 1, came here with an idea to do everything he could to win this fight.
Yeah, he knows this is one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. He's been to this level twice. 3 times is a charm. He's hoping.
Andre Ward looks like he got a headbutt from Bika. Bika telling us in our meetings yesterday,
Watch your hands, let's go.
I'm going to test Andre Ward's will. Not only will I test it, I will find it, and I will break it.
Let's go, box.
I tell you what I'm noticing is the fact that because Bika is so unorthodox, he doesn't fight in a rhythm. It's giving Ward a little bit of problem right now. He hasn't solved it yet.
Round one coming to an end. Bika versus Ward, and Andre Ward with some words to the referee, Dan Stell. Let's take a look at the keys to this fight.
For Sakio Bika, landing the jab against Ward is difficult, but Bika's new trainer, Ronnie Shields, says you have to do it. And the reason for that is it allows him to follow with combinations, and he can throw good combinations. Sometimes when he throws his right hand, Bika lunges and squares himself up. We didn't see that in round one. If he does that, Ward will hit him. And for Ward, he relies on that good jab a lot, and it sets the tone for his attack. Bika likes to trap opponents on the ropes and unload punches. Ward does not want to be there. And Bika sometimes has a reckless style. Ward wants to counterpunch effectively. This is where we believe there was a clash of heads. And there was one there, and clearly that was not initiated by Bika. It was simply an accidental clash of the two men. In fact, if anything, Ward was coming in.
Round two, scheduled for 12 for the WBA Super Middleweight World Title. Andre Ward, the champion, in the gray and silver. Sakio Bika, the challenger, in the white trunks with black piping. Bika, as advertised, letting his hands go early. Ronnie Shields told us, and they've only been working with each other for about 2 months, his trainer, that he had to work on Bika's balance, and you're starting to see that now.
The Ward jab now coming out of mothballs. And Andre Ward tonight looks like he wants to rely on the left hook a lot as well against Bika.
Stop for that. Both of you, watch your head. Let's go.
Both fighters complaining about headbutts. Jab getting through for Andre Ward. Ward took the title from Mikkel Kessler, the Danish champion, on November 21st of 2009 in the opening round of the Super 6 World Boxing Classic. The fight was stopped in the 11th round due to cuts. It was a technical decision. In that fight, Kessler arguing that Ward headbutted him the whole night.
Well, you know, it was a tough fight, and both fighters was leading with their heads. I mean, a lot of these times these headbutts are accidental, so it's kind of tough to take a point from any one of the guys.
Sakio Bika, former two-time super middleweight world title challenger, 2000 Olympic representative for his country, Cameroon, at 156 pounds. And prior to the Mendy fight, he had won 6 in a row.
Yeah, he's been on a roll as a fighter. And in the Mendy fight, he was controlling that fight and had Mendy down. So this is a very credible contender for the title, and was supposed to fight Alan Green as an eliminator to get into the Super 6. That didn't come off, so he could very well have been in the tournament.
He said he had some visa complications.
Yeah. Both men really trying to establish the jab, but neither man has done it as effectively as they would like.
And that surprises me with such a great boxer like Andre Ward, that he's unable right now to have an effective jab. You know, kudos to Bika right now.
Antonio, what do you do when you're in the ring fighting an opponent that's as wild and as wide as Sakio Bika?
Believe it or not, you got to stick to the game plan. I mean, right now I saw Andre Ward, he was sort of pawing with the jab. It's too early to get frustrated and throw the game plan out of the window. Right now you're eating out of the palm of Bika if you fight his style of fight.
Bika making this a rough and tumble experience for the champion.
We've talked about the heads banging together, and you will see how they do come together in the last round again. And then the glove being put up by Ward is kind of a shield to the heads banging together. And I think both of them complaining. I think, Antonio, you made the best point. This is not deliberate headbutting. This is a clash of styles here.
Don't let him do it. Stay focused. It's gonna be fine. Don't you know who dirty stuff. Stay focused. Talk to him. Talk to him. Okay? Let's go, baby.
Bika telling us that he was so positive that he can win this fight tonight once he breaks Andre Ward's will. And Ward comes out, throws a lead right hand. Bika
Let go, Andre, let go.
just
Let
letting
go,
his
Andre.
free hand work. And he is definitely making this a brawl. And this kind of style seems like it would favor Sakio Bika.
It definitely will. I mean, Andre Ward just landed the cleanest shot of the fight. But what happened? Bika came right back. And so that's the type of fight that Bika wants to continue to have if he wants to find success tonight.
And you know, Andre
Hands are
Ward,
free.
very
Work that arm
effective
out.
on the
Let's go.
inside against Alan Green. And he said, look, I'm a good inside fighter. But Bika's showing us he's a very strong super middleweight on the inside and rough and tumble in there.
Yeah, and you want to commend Andre Ward for taking a fight like this.
Yes,
when you look at a champion that didn't have to take such a risk, that goes to show you what type of great champion that he wants to become.
Ward landing a short left hook.
And punches so far in this match are intriguing because Bika throwing so many more than Andre Ward and landing more as well. But it's numbers thrown that's really stark when you look at that. And I think the fight's, you know, I gave one of the rounds to Ward, so I think it's close, but because of the punches landed, you see they're very close. But still, Bika's came here with an idea, and he is executing it.
And earlier tonight, we saw a very busy fighter in Carl Froch. What a terrific performance by Froch to regain his world title and get ready for the semifinals of the Super 6.
Antonio, you had that one called. I got to tell the world, he's been walking around all week saying Carl Froch is going to win this fight. And you were right.
Let's go. Box.
Different story for Arthur Abraham. He will take on Andre Ward in his next bout in the semifinals. Abraham not letting his hands go. That's not the case for Sakio Bika. And as a matter of fact, the Ward camp feels that Bika is a perfect fighter to resemble Arthur Abraham in the next round.
Yeah, and I got to be honest, I'm not sure I agree. Virgil Hunter's a brilliant guy, and so is Andre Ward. Nobody's better students to the sport. But I'm not sure that's exactly the case because Bika's a lot busier than Abraham, and there are some differences.
33 seconds remaining in the third round, scheduled for 12. The WBA Super Middleweight World title. This is not a Super 6 event. Nice left hook by Ward. That backs up Bika. The Bika backs up swinging. Now Bika turning Ward, trying to pin him on the ropes. Working the free hand. 8 seconds to go. Very dramatic start for this fight. Now, every Wednesday at 9 p.m., it's Showtime's Emmy-winning series Inside the NFL. James Brown, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms, and Warren Sapp will recap all the week's action.
And you got a couple guys sitting next to you here who are in favor of surprise teams. You, Antonio, big Tampa Buck fan, Tampa Bay Buck, and I'm a Bear fan. Amazingly, our teams are 7-3.
Yeah, we got a big game this weekend, and you know, hopefully, I just hate that we lost that game against New Orleans Saints.
And guys, Andre Ward now with some bleeding out of the left eye. He's got a cut on the top of the eyelid.
Go to the face, okay? When you go to the face, now a little bit might run in there. You don't worry about it. It's going to work. That medicine is going to work.
The WBA Super Middleweight World title. Sakio Bika, the challenger in white and black. Andre Ward, the champion in gray and silver. Fourth round. And it has been a very physical boxing match up until this point.
And will this cut make Andre Ward even more urgent in his attempts to get to Bika? And could that take him out of his game plan a little bit? We'll see.
Well, I know one thing. This is not the style of fight that Andre Ward had envisioned. He envisioned controlling the tempo of this fight, boxing when he had to, counter-punching when he had to.
Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Gus, it was an accidental clash of heads, which has caused the cut over the left eye, according to the California State Athletic Commission.
And Bika tripping and falling down. That is not a knockdown. Dan Stell, the referee, right on top of it. Fans here in Oakland saw it another way.
And what that report from Jim Gray means is nice hook by
Nice
Ward.
left hook by Ward. That staggered Bika.
It would have to go after the 4th round. They would go to the scorecards if the fight was stopped because of that.
Virgil Hunter told us that we will continue to see the evolution of Andre Ward going from being a boxer to a fighter. What does that mean, gentlemen?
That means you're going to see this guy, if he has to, like we're witnessing right now, he's sitting there fighting. And a lot of people don't give him credit for having a big heart, but this guy is tough as nails, and you're witnessing it right now.
Ward, looping right hand, landing. Bika still trying to work that jab. Uppercut blocks. Another left hook by Ward and a left hook by Bika. Ward keeping that hand really high, that right hand.
I told you before, this is not a tune-up, and it ain't a tune-up.
Thank goodness Andre Ward took the fight. Left hook right hand by Ward. Bika comes back. 50 seconds to go in the 4th round.
Stop. Step back.
Blood and guts early, folks. 4th round scheduled for 12 for the WBA super middleweight world title. Sakio Bika came to fight. Lead left hook blocked by Ward.
Watch that head. Stop. Step back. Watch his head on the inside. Let's go.
Another left hook by Ward. Wild uppercut by Bika. Ward steps off the line, slips it with 10 seconds to go.
They're going on.
And we've got a good little rumble developing, guys.
Little love tap from Andre Ward at the end of the round. Now, this is where Bika hit the canvas, but it was not a knockdown. They were both throwing left hands and awkward action. Their feet got tangled up, and Bika went down.
Right here, this is the fact. Counterpunch came out, a leaping left hook. He landed about 2 or 3 of those in this round, which was really good, and I gave this round completely to Andre Ward.
Keep that gut working. Okay? Hold on, no. Okay, now keep the southpaw going if you got a chance now. Keep him mixed up. Don't come directly in front of him. He's starting to work him. This is yours. We know what we want after 6.
5th round, scheduled for 12. Andre Ward, the champion. In the gray, Sakio Bika, the challenger in the white. Ward using the jab to start the round.
Stop. Step back. Box.
Now, Andre Ward often switches to lefty in fights. We asked him about it for this fight, and he said, I just don't know. And Bika has, while he's lost to a couple of lefties like Calzaghe and Boutte, has performed well in that fight, so we may not see Ward as a lefty.
Ward threw a right hand, followed by a right elbow. Bika walked right through it.
See, Ward's on the ropes. That's a place you don't want to be against Bika. He gets very aggressive. Wow, great action.
Solid left hook by Andre Ward. Bika doesn't budge.
It seems like to me that Andre Ward is trying to land something significantly to hurt Bika. I would advise him to just put his punches together. Let the knockout come. Let the big punch come. But he's really going out of his way to put some punishment on Bika right now.
Hands are free. Hands are free.
And there was a strong jab by Ward, kind of what you're talking about. Let those kinds of punches flow.
Pull that arm back, Andre.
Ward measuring. Bika.
Oh, he got hit with a big
left
hook by Bika. And that's because he was pawing with that left hand. He just kept it out there instead of snapping it.
Ward can take a punch. Answers with the stiff jab. Bika backs up. Bika very relaxed. Becoming more fluid as this fight goes on.
We have had a year of surprises in the super middleweight division. Nice uppercut on the inside by Ward. Both men can throw that punch. Here we are in the midst of maybe another one.
Left hook.
No matter what happens in this fight.
By Andre Ward. Look at the determination in his eyes. Steps to his right and unloads a nice two-punch combination. Andre Ward using angles now.
I mean, this guy just have all the tricks. You know, his repertoire is like endless. But I still would advise him to put the punches together instead of looking to load up with the big shot.
24 seconds remaining in the 5th round.
Inside, we saw some of the body work that Bika promised to do in this fight, and he has gone downstairs.
Bika has done everything he promised. He's pushing Andre Ward. He's throwing combinations, letting his hands go, taking risks. And so far it's working. It's been effective for him. He's made this a rumble, and they're throwing bows in the ring right now.
Good job. You know what I said about don't pull out like that, right? All you gotta do is
Sakio Bika, especially in the first part of this round, was very effective. The clubbing right hand that he's been throwing throughout. And again, the jab is a key with him. He has been able to jab with Ward. Ward's had a good jab, but also Bika has. Bika walking into a jab by Andre Ward. So Ward has had that good jab in spots, Antonio. And at the end of the round, there's the Bika combination punching that we talked about. And if they're awkward combinations, they're still there. But right at the end, watch Andre Ward ripping on the inside. He's a rough customer, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Sakio Bika telling us that when he got the opportunity to fight for the world title against Joe Calzaghe, he didn't grab it. He said, this time I'm going to grab it because the future of my family will change overnight when I defeat Andre Ward. Meanwhile, Ward telling us, even though Andre Dirrell withdrew from their scheduled fight, he wanted to keep the date and not be on the shelf until next year. He needed a good opponent because he wants to continue to grow. He wants to stay busy, and they've been watching Bika for years.
No, let him out, let him out. There you go.
The activity in this fight in terms of punch numbers demonstrated, and even Ward leading now in terms of number of punches landed, but the activity from the sports media numbers, it shows that Bika much more active. And this is a very close fight.
It is a close fight. In fact, I gave Bika definitely the 3rd round, but it seems like Ward right now is trying to take control. But I would have never thought in a million years that we'd see this style of fight from Andre Ward.
Yeah, and he's been forced into it, and as you point out, he's certainly responding well, but Bika's getting more than his share of things done in the ring.
Those short body shots by Andre Ward, very effective, and they will take their toll later.
A reminder to our viewers, this fight has no bearing on the Super 6 tournament. No matter what happens, Andre Ward is moving into the semifinals and will remain atop the leaderboard in the Super 6. But it sure has a lot to do with his title staying in his hands.
But like Bika said earlier, he's going to make the world pay attention to him.
And he's doing it right now.
Andre Ward, we asked him about the cold, steely side of himself. He comes across as being a very gentle man, religious man, but there's something that's very mean and vicious on the inside. And he came back and said, whenever somebody's trying to take something from me, that's when my competitive nature comes out. He said, in this game, in the game of boxing, one loss and your pay scale goes down. And he doesn't plan on that happening.
Yeah, I said yes.
Stop.
Now both eyes bleeding for Andre Ward. Straight right hand missing.
It seems as if Andre Ward wants to be the captain in this ring. I think his best game plan tonight should be counterpunching. Allow Bika to expose himself and come right over top of some of those wild looping punches.
And the Ward family watching Tiffany with concern in her eyes.
Listen to this. 3V. He's going to throw that wild punch back. You roll that shoulder and you stick that jab right up in his mug, okay? All right? When you want to bring the combinations, come behind the jab. Don't sling it in there, okay? And you can. 1, 2, 3, the chest, roll, okay? 1, 2, roll, okay? It's time to bring the southpaw in and start sticking that gut. You need to give me the gut more, okay? This is what round?
Unofficially, press row.
This is 7th round.
Press row
This is your
scoring
time.
Ramona Ronda from
Be smart.
411 Mania with all of them with the fight for Ward. Michael Murphy from the San Francisco Marina Times and David Robinette from the FightNews.com, all having it for Andre Ward. I actually have the fight a draw.
Very even fight, Al. I agree with you.
But I can understand that scoring. I think you can go a lot of directions with this fight. And Andre, I know you have Ward ahead in this fight.
Yes, I do have Ward ahead by a little bit. In fact, I scored that round even. I mean, because both fighters sat there inside. No one really took control of that last round. I'm anxious to see what this particular round has for us right now.
And this is one of those fights where you could have wildly divergent scorecards.
Very interesting to see the development of Andre Ward, especially his last 3 fights, winning the world championship from Kessler, defending it against Alan Green, and now taking on a tough, battle-tested fighter in Sakio Bika. Remember, at the beginning of his career, he was criticized for being carefully brought along.
And they felt, and he felt, that it was necessary because he needed to get better as a fighter. He still says he's a work in progress. And right now, he's certainly fighting a difficult schedule.
And if there's been any fighter, one fighter, that has really taken the Super 6 and made it its own, it's been Andre Ward. I mean, with the tough fights that he's had, the notoriety that came with the Super 6, I mean, this guy has really blossomed into a great champion.
And, you know, the fact that Bika is making this such a good fight, nice right hand on the inside by Ward, is a testimony to the super middleweight division and shows it's as deep as we thought it was.
Not only the fighters in the Super 6, but a fighter like Bika, Lucien Boutte, has joined us here at Showtime as well.
Stop! Let him out, Here we go. Back up. Box.
Mikkel Kessler, Andre Durrell, still very prominent at the super middleweight level, although they are no longer members of this tournament, of the Super 6 tournament. A minute to go in the 7th round. And it's been very, very physical.
These rounds are razor thin, I think.
Yeah, and it's because of the style. We're so used to seeing Andre Ward dominate with his punching power and his speed and combination. Something, for some reason, he has failed to do tonight.
Yeah, and you made a great point earlier. He's a rhythm fighter, and Bika has disrupted his rhythm.
Yes.
Out some blood around the nose area of Bika as he eats a jab and slips an uppercut. This is where Andre Ward was effective against Alan Green on the ropes, fighting inside. Different story with Bika, who's stronger, in incredible shape, and game. Right hand landing for Ward. Bika, wild looping right hand, missing. And Ward and Bika with both smiles on their faces. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Gus, referee Dan Steele telling us in the 2nd round that the cut on the left eye that's being worked on right now of Andre Ward came from an accidental headbutt. The cut in the right eye came from a punch from Bika that occurred in the 6th round. So it's the right eye a punch, the left eye an accidental headbutt. Neither of them right at this point look to be too serious. Gus?
All right, thank you very much. And let's listen to Virgil Hunter in the corner of Andre Ward.
You got me? Huh? Look at me. You got me? Nothing. He's telling you, put it in there. Put him in there. Put him in there. In the middle of those rounds, he's going to get tired. He's going to run, just swing wild, start making him pay. But when you make him pay, come in with technique.
Virgil Hunter, one of the great trainers in the world, in the corner of Andre Ward. Sakio Bika, though, has a new trainer. And I tell you what, he's got a pretty good one. Ronnie Shields has been in the corner with some very good fighters during his time.
A lot of great champions. He himself, a former junior welterweight contender and great fighter. Bika said something very important. He said, Ronnie Shields has made me work harder than ever before, and that may come into play with conditioning in this very hard fight.
Well, it looks like he's built to last tonight because he hadn't slowed down one bit. He's thrown Andre Ward off his game. What happened to those beautiful combination punches that we're used to seeing from Andre Ward?
Ronnie Shields in the corner of currently Kermit Citron, formerly the late Vernon Forrest.
Well, nice inside work by Ward there, the combination punching.
They go that arm. Let's go, box out. Stop, stay back. Spots.
There have been, in the power punch department in this fight, of course, we said jabs were going to be important for both men, but clearly power punches also. Ward landing more of power punches, even though he has thrown fewer than Sakio Bika. Both men continuing to go to the body. They're committed to that.
Ward a little low on that left uppercut. Bika doesn't blink. Now Andre Ward jabbing to the body.
But again, it's one punch at a time, and that's what, you know, I'm paying close attention to. When the fights are discontested, who do you give the round to?
Ward doing a nice job tonight, keeping his hands up high and blocking a lot of those wild punches by Bika.
Absolutely. I think you're more likely to maybe give the rounds to the guy that punches more, and in this case, that's Bika. Whether that'll be the case remains to be seen.
Bika keeping that left hand really low. See if Andre Ward can time him. He's been jabbing to the body. Ooh, nice left hook to the body for Andre Ward. 10 seconds to go in the 8th round. Ward digging in, and he goes downstairs, then upstairs. As both fighters glare at each other before they go back to their corners. Let's listen in to the Bika corner, Ronnie Shields.
On his head first. No, not you, Come on, give me a drink first. Hold on, give me a drink first. Now listen, Sakio, look, I need you to rough this guy up now, okay? Now look, what round we in? What's this? Okay, look, we got 4 rounds. Okay, we got 4 rounds. You gotta pick it up now, okay? Look, I need combination. Let that right hand go. Don't hold the right hand. Okay. But bring the hook in the right hand and the hook back behind it. I need at least 3-4 punches though, okay? I don't need 1 punch. Look, you're jabbing him. You're too high, jab him in the chest, okay? Yep. And then shoot the uppercuts at him, okay? Okay. Come on, give me a drink. Let's go to work, Sakio. And look, don't forget about it.
Let the right hand go, Antonio Tarver. Those are the instructions. He needs punches in bunches from Sakio Bika. 9th round of the WBA Super Middleweight World Title. Sakio Bika, the challenger in white and black. Andre Ward, the champion in gray and silver.
Step back. Let's go, gentlemen.
Andre Ward undefeated in over 12 rounds, a 2-0. And Sakio Bika is 2-3 when he fights a full 12-round distance, but again, he talked about Ronnie Shields getting him into condition that may help him in these later rounds.
No, stop! Let him out. Let him out. Let him out. It's fine.
Gus and Al, it seems like to me that Andre Ward has finally relaxed and calmed down a little bit. I think he's been fighting a little tight, you know, when you look at the earlier rounds, and it seems like he's coming out with a little bit more fluid this time.
Boy, are you right about that? Yeah, that's a very great observation, and it's helped him a lot.
Let's go.
Right hand landing by Andre Ward. Bika now looks like he may be running out of a little of his steam. Not as active here in the 9th round.
But as long as they're this close, it gives him an opportunity to be rugged inside, land the elbows. Anything can happen that close.
I'm not sure Andre Ward didn't just throw an elbow at Bika. Maybe that was a response.
He certainly did.
And, you know, we talk about the toughness. Andre Ward's a rough customer, and that's what the Bika corner has said. They said he's no shrinking violet in there.
Andre Ward.
Ward is really having his way with him in there.
I would still like to see Ward get a little bit more distance and allow these combinations to just flow.
What do you need to fight instead of letting me referee the fight? Let's go.
And how about he took time to urge the crowd on there while he was throwing those combinations on the inside, Andre Ward.
Let him out. There you go. Listen up. Let's go.
You see a little bit more feigning, a little more head movement, a little bit more bounce in Andre Ward's legs. This should give him more opportunities right now.
Bika breathing out of his mouth. So he may be getting tired. Here in the 9th round, Andre Ward leaning on Bika, using his elbows, using his shoulders. Some consider that dirty fighting, some consider that old school fighting.
Definitely, a little bit of both.
As the Oakland fans start to chant, SOG, Son of God.
This has been an important round for Andre Ward.
Stop.
Well, this fight is not for the faint of heart. There's the forearm shiver, if you will, from Bika, and he gets the appropriate warning from Dan Stell. I think that was appropriate. And then later, Andre Ward says, I think I'll retaliate a little bit. And he's ripping on the inside, and he's trying to get that elbow. There you go. That's what you call a deliberate elbow. That was in, and I love Andre Ward. I think he's the greatest, but that was a deliberate elbow, and that was in retaliation.
Let's take a look at press row scoring. I don't know if we're at a boxing match or a Muay Thai event.
Wow, yeah, you're used to
Strike Force fight.
Ramona Ronda with a big edge for Ward, Murphy with the big edge for Ward, and so also Robinette. I have a 3-point win, 87-84 for Ward at this point.
Andre Ward defending his title for the 2nd time. He took it from Mikkel Kessler a year ago. Defended it against Alan Green with a unanimous 12-round decision. Now taking on Sakio Bika, a fight that he didn't have to fight. He didn't have to take on the 14th ranked man in the WBA.
Yeah, and you know, that 14 is specious because he's really in the upper echelon of the super middleweight category. And it is interesting. Now, Andre Ward, you hit on it, Antonio. He's more relaxed in there, and he is letting his punches flow a little better. And Bika has lost some steam.
And in doing that, he should also be more comfortable with his defense, meaning
nice
make him miss and make him pay. Don't take yourself out of range to have that counterpunch opportunity.
Bika very distressed, feeling he got butted by Andre Ward. And for Bika, he has got to start putting his punches together again to get back into this fight.
Now Ward jumping on him. In the 10th round, both fighters have used elbows. Both fighters have used headbutts. It's been a dirty, nasty brawl in there.
Step back.
Andre Ward
Step back.
taking and giving.
Oh, yeah. And if he ends up winning this fight in this fashion, it's safe to say that he beat Bika at his own game.
Exactly true. And showed yet another dimension that people are going to have to think about.
Or it could also be looked at as if Andre Ward beat Bika at Andre Ward's game. Well, ask Mikkel Kessler.
Yeah, I think Ward is a chameleon. You know, that's part of what makes him interesting. And
stop. Step back.
Short left hand.
That was a counter jab, a hard power jab. Beautiful.
Both fighters exchanging inside, approaching the 30-second mark of the 10th round.
And Bika looks like he's got a cut around his left eye. And that may have come from that clash of heads or a right hand. Excellent round for Ward.
A lot of blood coming out of that left eye, as you mentioned, Al, of Sakio Bika, the Scorpion. As we come to the close of the 10th, Ward. Give him a good old-fashioned headlock as well. Sakio Bika can't believe that he's fighting Andre Ward this way, and Ward is pulling out all tactics.
This is that jab, an excellent jab that lands, and then they get inside. That's where Bika feels like and that's where the heads came together, and that is, I think, where that cut came about.
But again, Al, total accident. It was nothing intentional about that headbutt.
I agree 100%.
Don't forget the bantamweight tournament is coming up. Perez versus Agbeko. And then there's Vic Darchinyan versus Martes. Always fun to see Vic Darchinyan in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
It would take
Raging Bull.
It would take an act of Congress for that not to be a great night.
That's right. Really would. That is right. Been a great night here. Sakio Bika smiling as he gets off the stool for the 11th round against the champion, Andre Ward. And gentlemen, I know it's been a close one. How do you have it scored so far?
I have Andre Ward ahead by 4 points. The early momentum that Bika had has dissipated, and Ward has come back, and Antonio said it well earlier. He has dug down and had to fight a certain kind of fight, and he's been able to do it.
I have him ahead right now by 5 points. I gave him the 8th and the 9th round. But, you know, Bika was in this fight.
Yes.
And, you know, last 2 rounds he let slip away. But he has to get back right where he started from.
And there's the press row scoring. Romano Ronda from 411 Mania, and Michael Murphy from the San Francisco paper, and David Robinette from FightNews.com, all with a pretty wide margin that reflects more of what Antonio has. But clearly they think Ward is winning this fight.
I saw Bika land a nice counter punch there, and you know he's still in the fight. He's a big puncher, but like I said, Ward is aggressive right now. I'd like to see him be a little bit more fluent with his combinations, but his aggression has won him the last 2 rounds, and he may be pulling away right now, Al.
But these are the kind of fights, Antonio and Al, that you want to see stars go through as they ascend to the upper echelons of their division.
Well, this fight is a learning experience for Andre Ward, make no mistake. And part of the reason why he's ahead in this fight, even though the volume of punches is for Bika, is that Andre Ward has just done better work over the last 4 rounds, especially to both the body and the head, and relaxed into this fight. And there's a good example of it with that strong left jab.
Yeah, when they look back at the tapes on this fight, I think Andre Ward is going to see where he could have done a lot of things better or differently. Like stick that jab out there, double it up, maybe triple it up. Beautiful shot.
Beautiful left hook by Ward as he rolled the right hand. Bika, he's been wild and wide all night, but now he's slowing down. And Ward timing him much better, especially with that left hook. It's short and effective.
There was a short chopping right hand by Bika on the inside. He threw that punch so much more in the first part of the fight, but he has not been able to get that punch in.
Bika's hands down, breathing out of his mouth. Been 11 hard rounds for these two gentlemen.
Stop, gentlemen. One, your hands. I'm not going to tell you again. Let's go. Time.
This is it, baby. Look, this is do or die right here, baby. Look, if we don't get the knockout this round, we can't win this round, okay? We can't win the fight. You got to knock his hands out. Okay? Put your hand back a little bit. And listen,
Last round, let's keep it cool.
listen.
Andre Ward has used the left hand, especially the jab, so effectively. That's a big power punch and makes Bika miss with the overhand right. And from another angle.
And that's that counter jab that has been working. But after that jab, you want to see 1 or 2, 3 combination punches. And thus, that's where you're going to look at this and say, I've learned something from this fight.
Sakio Bika gets off the stool for the 12th round, 31 years old. Ronnie Shields, his trainer, saying we need to knock this guy out. So let's see if he goes for it here. He said he wanted to take risks. He said he wanted to let his hands go. He has done that. But he's really got to take it to another level in the 12th and final round for the WBA Super Middleweight World title. Andre Ward, the champion in gray.
I hate what Dan Stell just did, pushing the fighter back like that. Dan's a good referee, but you don't take a fighter in round 12 like Bika and push him back and make bad things happen to him. I just think that was wrong.
Bika missing with the haymaker.
That's a good body shot Bika just landed.
Blood coming out of the eyes of both fighters. And also the nose of Sakio Bika.
Don't grab his head. Keep it. Let's go.
Bika has actually been a little more active in this round than in other rounds.
Oh yeah, he's still full of energy, and you know, right now he's feeling all his dreams slip away. So he might get a little desperate right now. So be on the lookout for the low blow, intentional headbutt, elbow, and stuff like that.
Anything else you'd like to throw?
Throw the whole kitchen sink at him.
And you know what Bika has done in this fight? He's raised his stock in the super middleweight division. He's shown that he is
a tough out,
a very good fighter.
Another nice jab by Ward. All the more credit to Andre Ward for taking this fight.
And you can't give him too much credit for that. And then he has dug down deep. And look at him smile and say, yeah, I'll deal with this.
And Bika has landed some good punches over top. And Andre Ward is holding right now.
Oh, yeah. Could he have been hurt by that right? Now what?
This is the last round. Keep it clean. You understand? I want you to keep walking. Let's go. Fight.
A minute to go.
Bika bothered in that left eye.
Ward trying to measure him.
It's actually a round that Bika's probably winning.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing a little bit more in this particular round.
This is probably not enough to get him even on the scorecards, or certainly not ahead.
30 seconds to go. 12th and final round. Andre Ward, Sakio Bika.
Well, for all those super middleweights out there, I think they're going to just come in Oakland and push Andre Ward. They got another thing coming. This guy's tough.
Wow.
Ward still holding.
Great hook by Bika, though.
And that's it. As both gentlemen give each other a nice hug and a pat. They really let the hands fly today.
You can understand the concern on the faces of his family, knowing that that's the roughest they have ever seen Andre Ward in a fight, because that was a rough and tumble fight.
Yeah, I mean, and for this fight not to be a part of the Super 6, I mean, he's going to have to hope that he didn't get worse for wear tonight as he advanced to the semifinals.
Well, the point we were making before is, of all the fighters that are left, except for Glenn Johnson, who of course only had the one fight, he's had less stress during fights. But now here he has a rough, tough fight. And in the last round, which was not a good one for Andre Ward, Bika not only landed good punches, but see all this rough and tumble action. And Ward holding on so much that he's making it awkward.
Yeah, I thought one of those punches may have hurt Andre Ward, but again, he has a cut on the bridge of his nose. He has 2 cuts on his eyes, and those are the things that take something out of a fighter.
And there's where the head's. Now, this is what Bika thought the head was getting him. There's the head of Ward against his left eye, which is already damaged. And after they got out of this clinch, you can see not only did he get nailed with that right hand, but the clanging of the heads distressed Sakio Bika. So this was an ugly, messy fight, but a very interesting one, and one that reveals a lot about both these men. And they each actually deserve credit in a unique way for what they did here tonight.
So let's take a look at the punch stats.
Look at the numbers in this fight, and we will see that Bika did throw a lot more punches. Now, he landed not that many less than Ward, but part of it is round by round by round. So you have to understand that in certain rounds, Ward was doing well, and chances are he will come away with this decision. But Bika very active in this fight, that's for sure.
Why are you in such good shape?
Benny, let me see him. I can't see Danny Miller, okay? We'll keep out so I can see him, okay?
All right, let's go and get the official decision. Here's Danny Miller.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, after 12 complete rounds, we go to the scorecard. Judge Marty Salmon scored the bout 120-108. Judge John Shorley scored the bout 118-110. And Judge Hunter Walton scored the bout 118-110. For the winner, and still the WBA Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Andre S.O.G. Ward.
A unanimous decision for Andre Ward, and it may have been a unanimous decision, but it was not an easy fight.